Hey Empoweristas, it's Alex Worley and I'm joined by Laurel House. She is the dating coach on E's Famously Single, and I am so excited to ask you all the questions my girlfriends have asked me over the years, or things I wondered when I was single. You are just a wealth of knowledge when it comes to dating.
Thank you. You know, it's actually funny because as a dating coach, when you go out and you're at a bar, you're at a party and people say, what do you do? I'm a dating coach. That's it. The whole conversation is now,
I'm sure.
Okay, let me tell you.
So when it comes to your clients and the people that you see out that ask you those questions, what's the number one most common question you get?
Oh my gosh. I mean, what is the most common thing that people do wrong when it comes to dating? I mean, that really is, unless they are personalizing it of, okay, this is my issue.
Right.
It's what do you see all the time?
And what is it?
Well, everything is boiled down to fear. So it doesn't matter what your issue is. If it is having difficulty voicing your needs, which is so common, going down to the basic, like, so where do you want to go to dinner? I don't care. No. What do you want? Do you want pizza or sushi? Whatever. No, you have an opinion. Voice that need from the beginning, from date one. Even before date one, when you're pre-qualifying them and learning about who they are, start voicing your needs because you are setting an expectation. So voicing your needs is number one. And so how does that boil down to fear? Well, because you're afraid that if you say something that they don't like, that they're not going to like you. Great, thank you for letting me know that you don't like me for me giving my opinion. Perfect, you're done. So fear is really the core. And then a big part of it is also, along with voicing your needs, being vulnerable, being authentic, dropping your facade. Particularly in LA, people are so afraid of allowing people to see them. There is this problem where we feel the need to be perfect all the time. But perfect is boring, forgettable, and it's not sticky. So sticky actually
what are we
is
talking
not
about
a sexual term. Sticky means memorable.
Okay.
Sticky means you want more. So in order to be sticky, you need to be real. You need to be vulnerable. You need to get raw.
When you can get real, then there's a connection. Because
Exactly.
in order to get to date two, there needs to be some sparks and a connection.
Which is, exactly, I'm so glad you brought up connection because chemistry is nice and it's important. It is not the most important thing, especially on a first date. The most important thing on a first date is connection. And you create connection through conversation. So, oh, you like to go to sporting events? Me too. Oh my gosh, you also like rock music? Yay! Who cares? There's no connection there. It's, what is it about the fact that you like Law and Order? Like, why do you like watching that show? Well, because I talk about dating and love and sex all day long. And so sometimes I just want to see the real and like the harsh and the dirty. And then that will open you up to talking about the other side of you. So it's creating that underlying connection, talking about feeling.
If somebody's not used to doing that, what is the first step to starting to be more authentic?
Well, it's checking in. So you are doing something, you're having a conversation, and you are asked a question, and instead of giving an answer, it's, let me just check in with myself for a minute. Okay, now I'm gonna tell them. And it's not about throwing up who you are, right?
Yeah.
This is not a therapy session. It's a date. It's a conversation. So you can still talk about, yeah, this is what I've been through, but make sure you do it in a you strategy. It makes it less scary. So positivity, drop into some vulnerability, and back up into positivity. It makes it feel better. And then if you want to extract the same information from them, because it's not just about asking them questions and, getting them to tell you stuff. You need to tell them stuff. So you do it in a way that I call, I'll show you mine, now you show me yours. Which is, I'm going to be vulnerable first. I'm going to be the example of my expectation of you.
So what exactly does dating on purpose mean?
Okay, so you have to have an awareness of what you're doing, what your purpose is when it comes to dating. There are 3 dating purposes. The first is fun. The second is self-exploration, and the third is to be in a committed monogamous relationship. So this is one of the first things that I ask my clients when I meet with them. What's your dating purpose? And if they say, oh, it's to be in a committed monogamous relationship, great. What's your dating style? Is your dating style fun, exploration, or to be in a relationship? That's oftentimes the problem, is that someone is dating with the purpose of relationship and the style of fun. So if you're dating on purpose, you're going into it already knowing what you're hoping potentially the outcome will be. You're not looking at the date like, oh God, there's so much weight on this date, this has to end in a marriage.
Right.
No, you are analyzing them to see if they have the potential to satisfy your needs. So if your relationship purpose is to be in a committed monogamous relationship, you're going to go into it very aware of what your dating needs are, not your dating wants.
What's the difference?
So many people, what do you need in a relationship? Well, I want a guy who is hot and fun and rich and likes yoga and has a dog and is gonna love my mom. And
by the way, I love your client voice. She has a very high voice. You're helping her bring down her octave a little bit, right?
Well, I'm looking for someone who's really hot.
Either way, they need to get into their body and their voice a little bit more.
Power is what it is. They need to be powerfully feminine, which is a way to pull people in. Okay.
But back to the wants and needs.
So those are things you want. That's nice. So is that actually going to contribute to a lasting relationship? No. Hot fades. The fact that they like your mom, it's a nice bonus. What do you actually need in a relationship? So relationship needs, the three main ones are safe, sexy, and seen. Safe, they make you feel physically, emotionally, maybe even financially safe. Sexy, you feel sexy.
That's easy.
And seen, they make you feel seen for who you truly are. You can drop your facade. You don't have to be on. You don't have to be perfect. You can be flawed, and they love you more. So those are the three real needs. And then mutual respect, mutual admiration, mutual adoration, communication, feeling like a partner. All of these things are actual relationship needs.
And then the hotness and the sexiness kind of comes from that, right?
Yes, because then, but I'm only attracted to hot, or I'm only attracted to rich. Really? Because no matter how rich or how hot they are, I promise you, there's a richer and hotter person right around the corner, and pretty soon they're gonna be more attracted to you, not that person. So if you really admire the person you're with, if you respect them, if you love how they make you feel, if they make you feel so safe and seen and adored, you're going to love them more because of those things than because of this or that. So those are the things that you really need to look at. So if you are on your dating purpose, you're going on to a date knowing, okay, I'm looking for someone who I could potentially have mutual respect with, who I could potentially have mutual adoration, who inspires me, who makes me feel safe and seen. So these things you're going to be looking for on the date. You're going to have conversations that surround those needs. So you're going to talk about things that you do that could command respect and admiration. So they then tell you stories that you might respect or admire in them. So now we're having this mutual, or you're going to start telling a story and he's like, oh, that's so stupid, whatever. Interesting. Okay, so you don't respect me. You don't admire me. Or you show who you really are. You pull your facade down for a second. They're like, oh my God, please, you're so weak. Or, oh, so you're not making me feel safe. You're not allowing me to be seen. Okay, good. This is not happening.
Yeah.
Now,
that's when you go to the bathroom, you call your girlfriend and say, come pick me up.
But if you have blinders on, because all you're looking for is chemistry, because all you're looking for is hot or rich, you will very, very quickly not care about safe, sexy, seen, mutual admiration, mutual respect, because all you're looking at is hot and rich. It's like a drug. Truly, chemistry shows up in the brain in the same location as cocaine.
Oh, wow.
So you are on drugs. And that is not what you want in a relationship. You actually don't need the excitement. What you actually want, I have so many clients who go on a first date and they're like, yeah, it felt good, it felt calm. I think I want more excitement. I think I want more drama. Okay, do you want that every day in a relationship? Really? Or do you want the like, everything is okay feeling?
But first and foremost, you ask your clients, are you someone that you'd want to date, right? So you have to look inward a little bit too.
Absolutely. Knowing who you are as a person, knowing your insecurities, knowing your secrets, knowing that you have no life outside of relationships, knowing that you have no friends or that you're obsessed with your friends or any of those little things.
Whatever it is, yeah.
Would you date that person? And oftentimes the answer is no. So that's where we start.
And again, it's not about being perfect. It's about coming to terms with those things about yourself,
It's
right?
about being confidently vulnerable. So it's okay if you are that person, as long as you say, that's me and I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
Or even, that's me and it's something I'm working on. And that's okay. Confident vulnerability is essential. It seems like there's a disconnect between the two, but they have to be merged, because that allows you to get raw, to be honest, to drop the facade. You can only drop the facade if you're confident, or at least aware of what's underneath it.
What's a first step to gaining that confidence?
To being aware of what your core values are. So I have my clients really think about what defines them as a person. And that's not, I like yoga, I am a dating coach, no. Who actually are you as a person? What are your 7 core values? So think about who you are in your happiest moments, in the moments when you feel most yourself, most calm, most authentic. What are the things about you that are coming out in those moments? So I'm a mom. So when I'm with my son, one of the things that I love about me is that I'm able to be a nurturer. And so because that's a strength that comes out when I'm with him, nurturing, being a nurturer is one of my core values. I also like that I am a mentor, that I am a teacher, and not a teacher in the traditional sense, but I teach people. So look at yourself and what you really like about you. Then look at the problems within it. So am I always a nurturer? No. In relationships, sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I get carried away with my business and with being a strong woman, and I forget to nurture. And in those relationships, there's a lack. I know that I'm not my best complete self. So I'm on purpose to strengthen the nurturing component of me within relationships.
On a related note, what advice do you have for someone who is so anxious and feels the pressure to meet someone? Because I think a lot of women have this idea that I need to be married by this age, and I need to have kids by this age, and I need to be in a good marriage in order to have those kids. So what advice would you have for that person that's maybe feeling that pressure?
So we oftentimes have this fairy tale of what life should look like. I'm going to get married at a certain age to my Prince Charming. I'm gonna buy a beautiful home. I'm gonna have all of these beautiful kids. I'm going to be swept off my feet. It's gonna be so fun. Okay, that fairy tale does not exist, actually. It doesn't matter if you meet the most amazing person and you buy that house and you have those kids, it's still not a fairy tale. You are still going to be unhappy during a lot of moments, especially if you were only looking for what you want. So, I want you to rewrite your fairy tale. I want you to look at, what do you actually want to feel? Not what does it look like, what do you want to feel? Okay, so you want to be a mom. Okay. Do you need to do that with someone necessarily? If the answer is yes, if you need to have that husband and it is important to you that you raise children together, fine. Let's start looking for someone who can actually fulfill your needs, but take the pressure off of yourself. Because if you're constantly uptight and walking around like this, is this what you want to present? No, you want to be
That's
this.
not sticky.
It is not sticky.
Right.
It is not sexy. It is not memorable. And if it's memorable in a bad way.
Yeah.
So you want to allow yourself to be yourself so that you can attract someone who's high quality for you. So remove the fairy tale and think about the little things. So I want to wake up in the morning and I want my guy to be laying there next to me and it just feels good. And then I want to go to work and I want him to send me a text saying, I hope you're having a great day. And it just feels safe and that I'm thought of. And then I want to come home and I just want to sit on the couch together in silence and drink some wine and it just feels calm. Is that a fairy tale? No. Is it being swept off your feet? No. Is it feeling connected? Yeah. Is that actually what you want? Yeah. So stop thinking about Prince Charming and fairy tales and start thinking about the reality of what you want. If you are in your 30s and you're single and you want to have children, reality check yourself here. do you need to think about having children on your own? Is it really that you need to have children, or is it that you want to be in a relationship? Yes, you might want both, but your time might come to a point where you can't have children anymore. So you shouldn't be going out so that you can find a husband who can fulfill the need of sperm donor so that you can then get pregnant.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, pregnancy is hard. Having a child is hard. And if you are married to someone who's not your person, if you're married to someone who doesn't see you, who doesn't make you feel safe, sexy, and seen, even in your most exhausted, swollen, grumpiest moments of being pregnant, scaredest moments of being pregnant, and then having a child who can be a pain in the ass and is running around and you're tired, and you have someone who doesn't see you, is not a partner, doesn't make you feel safe, let me tell you, you're gonna get a divorce. So if you're at a point where you want to have children and you're feeling a little bit desperate, so you're going out with people who might not potentially satisfy your needs, but just they could marry you. You know, that you have the mentality of, I just need to get married. Stop the attitude of, I just need to get married. Stop looking for a husband. Continue looking for a relationship that has the potential to satisfy your needs, and maybe go to your gynecologist and talk about your fertility. Let's get real for just a second. Can you still have children? How many eggs do you have? Should you consider freezing them? I froze my eggs and I ended up getting pregnant, but I did freeze my eggs because I was single. I knew I wanted to have children, and I wanted to make sure that I had a safety net. So when I was 35, that's what I did.
Yeah.
And I still have them frozen in case I'm at a
You got
place
baby
where
number
I
two.
want to have another child. Sometimes you just have to be realistic with yourself, as hard as that is, and as much as that shifts the reality of what your fairy tale looks like. Mm-hmm. Because do you really want to have a child on your own? I don't know if that's anyone's ideal. I don't think it is. But it might be the reality, and that's okay.
You can still be happy. And you're a really good example of this
Thank
because
you.
you chose a more non-traditional route.
You know, I have a child.
And he's
his
here
name is
actually.
Finley.
Should we bring him in here? Because he's so cute.
I didn't choose to be a single mom. I found out I was pregnant 2 weeks after my boyfriend and I broke up. And he is the most amazing child. Hi, monkey.
Hello.
Hi, monkey.
Hi.
This is Finley. See?
So it all worked out.
It all worked out. And he has a relationship with his father. And we are co-parents together.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's just the cutest thing.
And he's a beautiful little man. And what I love is that he's very serious. He stares at everyone. But he makes me be a better woman. A different side of me comes out because of him. I'm more nurturing, I'm more realistic, I'm more aware of my needs because everything is about him. Mm-hmm. Do you want this? Oh.
And you were telling me off camera that you would totally do it on your own all over again, just through your frozen eggs, as you said.
I would, because I do want to have another child. I was raised with 2 siblings, and I feel like siblings are important, and I'd like Finley to have a sibling. Thankfully, I have 42 frozen eggs. So if it gets to that point, then and I don't have the ability to naturally get pregnant, then I can do that. And I did naturally get pregnant with Finley. And
Right.
and I do have people say, how can you be a dating coach if you're a single mom? I am a single mom, which means I'm raising my child without the father, but I'm also in a relationship. So it's not one or the other. And the reality is with Finley's dad, he's a really good man, but I did the self-checking that I have my clients do. I looked at myself, we had conversations about, do you have the potential to satisfy my needs? Am I satisfying your needs? And we came to the realistic realization that we weren't, and we had to end it. He satisfied needs that I had at the time, but that relationship expired in that capacity, and it's okay for relationships to expire.
So obviously for a lot of your clients, their purpose is to end up in a monogamous relationship. So once they get that, because they worked with you and they work some magic, what's the key to maintaining a great monogamous relationship?
communicate. That is the essential. And throughout a relationship, it's about communication. It's about checking in. How are we doing? Have weekly check-ins or monthly check-ins if that's better. Do nightly thank yous, which means every night you just say, thank you. I appreciate that today you texted me before going into that meeting. It gave me that extra little boost of confidence that I really needed. Show appreciation for the little things. Then do the weekly or monthly check-ins. How are we doing? How's our communication going? How's our sex life? What do you need more of or different? And it's not about ego. It's not about what am I doing wrong. It's about what could I be doing better.
Okay, lastly, what is your definition of empowerment?
When it comes to feminine empowerment, it's about voicing who you are and what you need in a confidently feminine, empowered feminine way, which is focused, assertive, direct, and sweet, vulnerable, and authentic. They might seem like they aren't related, but they actually are. Assertive is not aggressive. Assertive is just, this is what I want. Focused, direct, but sweet, authentic, and vulnerable. If you're doing that, then you are voicing your needs and you're being true to yourself. So you're gonna get what you want and what you need, and you don't have to apologize for it.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And thank you. And let us know what your definition of empowerment is using #Empowerista, and we'll show you some social media love.